Morning routine. Emily and Sarah, two friends who lived next door to each other, had different but interesting morning routines. Every day, Sarah's day began with the gentle ring of her alarm at 7 a.m. As soon as she opened her eyes, she felt the warmth of the sunlight streaming through her window. "Good morning, world," she cheerfully exclaimed. She quickly got out of bed and made her way to the bathroom. On the other side of the hallway, Emily's morning started a bit earlier. At 6:30 a.m., her alarm clock played a soft melody, coaxing her out of a cozy slumber. Still half asleep, she stumbled to the bathroom to begin her day. "Mornings are a bit tough, but I like the quiet time," Emily mused. Sarah was a fan of morning showers, finding them invigorating. The sound of running water echoed through her apartment as she stood beneath the shower head, letting the warm water wake her up. "There's something about a morning shower that just sets the right tone for the day," Sarah said with a smile. Contrastingly, Emily preferred to take her showers in the evening. "It's my way of unwinding after a long day," she explained. Instead, she spent her mornings brushing her teeth and getting dressed in a hurry. "I'm not really a morning person," she laughed. Once out of the shower, Sarah carefully selected her outfit for the day. "I like to plan my clothes the night before, so it's one less thing to worry about in the morning," she shared. A few minutes later, she was enjoying a bowl of cereal with cold milk in the kitchen. "Breakfast is my favorite meal. It gives me the energy to tackle the day ahead." Emily, on the other hand, enjoyed a more leisurely breakfast routine. She sat at the kitchen table with a slice of toast and a glass of orange juice. "I like to take my time in the morning. It helps me ease into the day," she explained. With breakfast finished, both friends headed off to their respective daily activities. Sarah, living close to her workplace, enjoyed a brisk walk to the office, relishing the fresh morning air. "I love the peacefulness of the streets before they get crowded," she noted. Emily, living a bit farther away, took the bus to work. "It gives me some extra time to relax or catch up on a book," she said, appreciating the moments of solitude during her commute. As they bid each other goodbye, Sarah and Emily embarked on their day, armed with their unique morning routines. Despite the differences, they both agreed that the morning set the tone for the day, and they cherished the rituals that helped them start each day with a positive outlook.
Sarah and Emily, despite their differences in morning routines, often found themselves sharing bits of their day during their morning encounters. One day, as they walked out of their apartment simultaneously, they decided to grab a quick coffee together before heading their separate ways. "I never realized how much I enjoy our morning chats," Emily said with a warm smile as they walked to the local cafe. Sarah nodded in agreement. "It's a nice way to start the day, sharing a few moments with a friend." The cafe, with its inviting aroma of freshly brewed coffee, became a regular stop in their morning routine. Sarah usually ordered a black coffee, while Emily opted for a creamy latte. They found a cozy corner to sit and chatted about their plans for the day. "Today's going to be a busy one," Sarah remarked, sipping her black coffee. Lots of meetings and deadlines. Emily, stirring her latte, shared her plans as well. I have a presentation in the afternoon. It's a bit nerve-wracking, but I've prepared well. As they enjoyed their coffee, they discovered more similarities despite their differing morning rituals. Both valued the importance of a good breakfast, considering it essential for a productive day. Sarah shared her love for reading, mentioning that she often grabbed a few moments in the morning to indulge in a chapter or two. I find it a great way to clear my mind before the chaos of the day begins, Sarah explained, her eyes lighting up with enthusiasm. Emily nodded, I totally get that. I enjoy a good book in the evening, but I might try incorporating some morning reading too. Their morning coffee chats became a cherished routine, an extension of their individual morning rituals. As they finished their drinks and prepared to part ways, they exchanged encouraging words for the day ahead. Good luck with your presentation, Emily. You'll do great, Sarah said, her friendly encouragement resonating with sincerity. And you, Sarah? Smash those meetings and deadlines, Emily replied, appreciating the boost of motivation. Their morning routine, once solitary, had evolved into a shared experience, proving that despite the nuances of their mornings, the simple act of friendship added an extra layer of warmth to the start of each day. As they went their separate ways, the echoes of laughter and well wishes lingered, setting a positive tone for the challenges and joys that lay ahead.
Over time, Emily and Sarah's morning routine evolved into a delightful blend of shared activities. One weekend, they decided to break away from their usual routines and embarked on a joint morning adventure. On a bright Saturday morning, they met at the local park for a refreshing change of scenery. Instead of rushing through their morning rituals, they spread out a cozy blanket beneath a leafy tree, bringing with them a picnic basket filled with fruits, sandwiches, and a thermos of hot tea. Who says mornings have to be all about rushing and routine? Let's savor the slow moments today, Sarah suggested, laying back against the soft grass. Emily agreed, and they began their leisurely morning. They nibbled on sandwiches and shared stories, enjoying the simple pleasure of each other's company. The park was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and the rustle of leaves, creating a serene backdrop to their conversation. As they finished their picnic, they decided to take a stroll around the park. The cool morning breeze played with their hair as they meandered along the winding paths. Sarah pointed out different flowers, while Emily shared interesting trivia about the park's history. "This is such a wonderful way to start the day," Emily exclaimed, feeling a sense of calm wash over her. Sarah agreed, "I think we should do this more often. It's a refreshing break from the usual routine." After their stroll, they found a quiet spot by a pond and sat down to enjoy the scenic view. The morning sunlight danced on the water's surface, creating a tranquil atmosphere. They talked about their dreams, aspirations, and the little things that brought them joy. As the clock ticked towards noon, they reluctantly packed up their picnic and headed home. Despite the departure from their usual morning routines, both Sarah and Emily felt invigorated and grateful for the shared experience. "I never thought a morning could be this beautiful," Sarah remarked,
her eyes reflecting a newfound appreciation for the unhurried moments. Emily smiled. It goes to show that sometimes, breaking away from routine can be the best way to recharge. From that day forward, Emily and Sarah continued to intertwine their morning routines, alternating between their individual rituals and shared moments of connection. Their mornings became a delightful mix of routine and spontaneity, proving that the best mornings are the ones shared with a friend.
Emily and Sarah's friendship continued to blossom, and their morning routine became a shared canvas on which they painted colorful memories. One day, as they were sipping their coffee at the familiar cafe, Sarah suggested trying something new. "How about we switch our morning routines for a day?" Sarah proposed with a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Emily raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Switch our routines? You mean, I wake up at 6:30, and you wake up at 7 o'clock?" "Exactly. It could be fun to see how the other half lives for a day," Sarah replied, her enthusiasm infectious. So, the next morning, they exchanged their usual morning habits. Emily set her alarm for 6:30, while Sarah savored an extra 30 minutes of sleep. As Emily stumbled into the bathroom, half awake, she couldn't help but chuckle at the unfamiliarity of the early hour. Sarah, on the other hand, relished the luxury of a few extra minutes under the covers. "This is heavenly," she thought as she enjoyed the warmth of her bed. As the morning unfolded, they experienced each other's routines firsthand. Emily navigated the early morning rush, managing to get ready in record time. "How do you do this every day?" she exclaimed, realizing the efficiency required for a 6:30 a.m. wake-up call. Meanwhile, Sarah, embracing the leisurely pace, found joy in the slower morning. She took the time to savor her breakfast, enjoying the simple pleasure of a slow morning at home. "This is a nice change," she mused. Throughout the day, they texted each other updates and shared amusing observations about the switch. The experiment not only provided a fresh perspective on their routines, but also deepened their understanding of each other's preferences and challenges. By the time they met up again at the cafe the next morning, both had a newfound appreciation for their own morning routines. "Your morning rush is like a well-choreographed dance, and my slow morning was a much-needed breather," Sarah admitted. Emily nodded. "I realized that both our routines have their merits. It's not about one being better than the other, it's about what works for each of us." From that day forward, they occasionally incorporated elements from each other's morning routines. Sarah started taking a few extra moments for breakfast, inspired by Emily's unhurried approach. Emily, in turn, discovered the energy and motivation that an early start could bring, thanks to Sarah's routine. Their shared morning routine became a testament to the flexibility of friendship and the joy of embracing different perspectives. As they clinked their coffee mugs that morning, they marveled at how a simple switch had added a delightful twist to their daily lives.
Emily and Sarah's morning routine took another interesting turn when they decided to introduce a shared hobby into their daily rituals. One weekend, as they strolled through the local farmers' market, they stumbled upon a booth selling potted plants. "This would be a lovely addition to our mornings, don't you think?" Sarah suggested, eyeing a vibrant assortment of small succulents. Emily agreed, and soon they each picked out a plant to bring home. From that day forward, watering their plants and tending to their little green companions became a delightful part of their morning routine. "I named mine Mr. Greenleaf," Emily shared, grinning as she placed her succulent on the windowsill. Sarah chuckled, "Nice choice. I went with Sir Sproutington for mine. Let's see whose plant thrives better." Watering their plants became a shared activity. Every morning, they'd exchange updates on the growth of their plants, celebrating each new leaf or flower bud. The small act of nurturing their succulents added a touch of nature to their morning routine and provided a common topic to bond over. One day, Emily suggested expanding their plant family. They visited the market again, this time opting for larger, more elaborate plants. As they carefully arranged their new acquisitions in their living spaces, their apartments transformed into cozy indoor gardens. "I never thought taking care of plants could be so enjoyable," Sarah remarked, admiring the burst of greenery in her living room. Emily nodded. "It brings a sense of calm to the morning. Plus, it's a reminder that growth takes time, just like in our own lives." Their shared interest in plants led to discussions about gardening tips, plant varieties, and even DIY plant pots. They found themselves attending local gardening workshops together, expanding their knowledge and turning their morning routine into a joint exploration of the botanical world. As the seasons changed, so did their plant collection. They experimented with different flowers, herbs, and even attempted a small vegetable garden on their balconies. The once simple morning routine had now blossomed into a shared passion for gardening. On weekends, they would set aside time for more extensive plant care, repotting, and rearranging. The act of nurturing their plants became a therapeutic ritual, a moment of quiet reflection in the midst of busy lives. Their apartments transformed into green havens, and their shared interest in plants not only enriched their mornings but also deepened their friendship. As they sat one morning, surrounded by the flourishing foliage, Emily said, "Who knew that something as simple as a potted plant could bring so much joy and connection?" Sarah smiled. "Our mornings are now not just about routines but about growth, for us and our plants." And so, their shared morning routine continued to evolve, weaving together the threads of friendship and nature, creating a tapestry of shared moments and flourishing greenery.